Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Jessica. And Natalie, I love how your speech ended because I'm going to transition right into creating your own life. So I know many of you here joined Toastmasters because you have a vision of what you want your life to be like. Hopefully it includes public speaking, if you guys are all here. And by raise of hand, who here has a vision statement written out? Who doesn't? Shane, this class is just for you. So if you look at vision in the dictionary, it says to see. Another definition is also imagine. It's the picture that you hold in your mind. So having a vision statement is like having a map of your life, having a guide. Right now, you guys are all here. You guys have your life and the circumstances that are going on. Think about where you want to be in the future. So today, I'm going to help you get started on yours. All of you should have a yellow piece of paper in front of you. And we also, did everyone get magic wands too? An eraser on it. So when you write down a vision statement, you want to use your imagination. And so on the front of this, I'm actually going to have you start writing your vision statement today. And if you have one, still write one down anyways, and you can compare it to what you have. What else? If you've written it down someplace else, you can compare it. But if you open it up and look inside of it, these are some things you want to think about before you start writing your vision statement. So what are some of your strengths? I'm going to have everyone just take a few seconds and write down some of your strengths. And if you have trouble coming up with some, there's a book I highly recommend. It's called Strength Finder 2.0. You read about 20, 30 pages of it, and then you take this online assessment, and it generates your top 5 strengths according to their assessment. So write down some of your strengths. And you don't have to finish this all today. You can go home and talk to your family and loved ones or a mentor about it. And then if you didn't have to work, how would you spend your time? Or maybe even if you do work, how do you spend your time? What are things you enjoy doing? And then the next question I have is, what does success look like to you? And I know the word success triggers the word financial and money when people think about it. But there's so many areas of your life you can be successful in. Physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, financially, spiritually. Go ahead and write down a few thoughts that come to your mind in each of those categories. And then the last question I have here is, how do you want to be remembered in this lifetime? Imagine it's 100 years in the future and we're at your funeral. What are people going to be saying about you? How do you want to be remembered? So I'll give you guys about 1 more minute just to get started on this at least. So Tiffany, we are on this first thing going through these questions, things to ponder. And then underneath all those questions, I wrote tips for writing your vision statement. And right next to that, I want you to write today's date, so November 4th, 2016. So the reason why I gave you a pencil is because vision statements can be updated. You don't write something and it's not set in stone. You can erase it, you can change it, you can update it. Things might change in your life and you might want to switch it up. So for those of you, if you do have a vision statement at home, if it's on your computer, I challenge you to write it down and look at it often, hold it, and look at it. And if something's not resonating with you, if something shifts, erase it and add something else. There's something magical about the head, the heart, and the hand connection and writing it down on paper. Magic. Just the fact that you write something down increases your odds exponentially of bringing that into your life. You're laughing.
I love it.
These even have little sparkles in them if you hold them up to the light. They're magical pencils. So now I want you to look at the front page, close it up, and you're going to start writing your vision statement for your life. You want to pick a date in the future, maybe 5, 10, or 20 years out. So everyone write down a number at the top of this paper. How many years out do you want it to be? 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100. And then write down in detail the feelings, the sights, and activities of an ideal day that you'd like to have in this future. And then write it in the present tense as if it's happening now. And write something down today. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. You can either finish up what you've written inside, but use some of those ideas on the inside to write like a journal entry on the front page. Today is November 11th, 2025. I woke up and I exercised and I went to Toastmasters. And then I went and spoke at an event in front of thousands of people. And I inspired them with my words about such and such. And I was paid very well. So as you write your vision statement, imagine that your fairy godmother or your guardian angel is behind your shoulder watching you, and she can read every word on that page. And if she were to wave her magic wand and make it all come true, that's how descriptive you need to be when you write this down. I'm watching all of you. A lot of Disney movies try to get this point across to us. There's Cinderella with her fairy godmother, and her fairy godmother waves the wand and makes all her wishes come true. You see Aladdin, who has the genie, who makes all of his wishes come true. So you guys can make your own wishes come true by writing them down and looking at it often. And I put this on yellow paper because it's very bright. And hopefully your future is nice and bright. And this folds up so you can set it someplace where you will look at it often. And every time you look at it, imagine your little angel on your shoulder can look at it too, and she or he can read it. And the more they read it, the more they go out and bring all the stuff back to you to make this a reality in your life. So the difference between your own personal vision statement and a vision statement for an organization is your vision statement is about you and what you want in your life. But being in the Toastmasters Club, we're also taught to be leaders in our organizations and our communities. So if you want to work with an organization and help make a missions or a vision statement, it's more focused on the people and your customers and how you're going to bring a better service to them and cater to them. But you really need to focus on yourself first, build a strong foundation before you go out and help anyone else. So I'm going to give everyone about 10 more seconds to write up some things. And I encourage all of you to go home and continue to work on this. Keep your little magical wand attached to it. It's got a nice little clip, you can hold it. Go home and look at these and read them often. And let me know how it goes in the next 5, 10, 50, or 100 years. Thank you.